evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get it started. Um, this episode was kind of funny. It was kind of uneventful until you get to tree and vacation braids. So let's get it going. And then, of course, Ready to Love. So, first we got the 70s party. We got Stasha and Nate. And um, these two, they're just play acting right now. Um, Nate, I guess he did a little pleasing the other night. I guess, he's so proud of himself because she hasn't, they haven't consummated yet, but, um, but he did, he did a little pleasing. He gave a little preamble. So I think he's really proud of himself. But hey, Coco Brown experience, how are you doing? He's really proud of himself. And then he's talking to her friends during the 70s party. Their 70s party was cute. They both had the afros. His shirt was hilarious. Her they It was much better than a couple of these other parties. So their 70s parties, they did it up. I thought she had great ideas, putting the records on the string and hanging them from the ceiling and everything. Really cute, right? But he's talking to her friends and he's like, um, I don't know, she says she wants to have kids in a year, but I don't know, she doesn't even like dogs. She doesn't like a mess. You're Come on. You were just saying that because you're not ready to have kids. That was just you play acting. You were just coming up with an excuse. And you're coming up with an excuse. Stop trying to make excuses. You're just not ready to have kids right now. Um Other than that, like I said earlier, he did a little pleasing. So he's trying to give her a little preamble to how it could be. They looked really good. They really tried during their little 70s party with the friends and everything. His friends gave her some like advice, but Stasha, listen to me. Do not try to force somebody to be vulnerable. Don't try to force somebody to to get into his emotional side because it's going to end up really bad for you. What did Stay Tuned Reviews say? Stay Tuned Reviews has got some really good reviews, and I really want to try to get as fast as him too. Like, I mean, and I think how he gets fast is he don't have his camera on. So I need to get them graphics up so we can go zip, zip, zip. Because I'm like, he's right. But let me see. Stasha is training Nate to get him on her schedule and do what she wants. He's not getting the. I'm not. Why? You start so good. Okay, but Nate made some valid points. How can Stasha claim to be ready for kids when she doesn't like it when people make a mess? You're never going to be ready for kids. You're never going to be ready for kids. Kids are you're going to love them unconditionally, and whether the mess is going to happen. So the best way is for you to just have the kids in the house. So I think that she needs to have the kids. She needs to have the kids so she can relax with these the what do you call it? These little table things on her bed. Stop making The way to get ready for kids is to have the kids so your bedroom won't look like a hotel anymore. It's just gonna happen. So that's it. Coco Brown, Miss Coco Brown's life. Nate talked about lifestyle, and she is a workaholic. She is a workaholic, but that's the best way to change that is for life to happen to you. It's gonna happen to you. She's gonna have to make it. She's gonna have to change the way she's doing things, and that's it. That's it. Hey, LNV. So, would she be fine with Nate being a house husband? I actually, from what she has said, not minding because she's realistic in the fact that she understands that she makes much more than somebody that she's going to be paired with. I think, but she wants an ambitious man, and I understand that she needs an ambitious man. So she is probably going to be fine to a certain extent with a house husband because she knows that she and he are going to be in different brackets, right? I don't know about him training. Stasha is training Nate to get him on her schedule and do what she wants. I don't know about training him. But and I said this on Kojo's show, the best way for her to get into the habit of things is now during these 8 weeks. She's somebody that's not used to compromising. She's used to being in control. She's not used to listening to somebody else's view. The best way to do that is to do that now and get used to it and start working on that. Because otherwise it's not gonna happen. Um Otherwise, they were cute. I really didn't think anything of it. Like, I mean, that's why I started with them. That's why I started with them. Uh, yeah, they were cute. I just think she needs to cool it with the trying to make him emotional. It's not going to happen that way. I think the reason why she's not giving like she's not consummating is because she knows when she does, she's in love with him, and if he messes up, it's going to really hurt her. I'm confused. Stasha said to Nate's friends that she wants to where evaluate, excuse me, where they would be in a year to have a discussion about kids. See, and that's the thing. Nate thinks she wants the pitter patter of little feet running around in a year. I don't think that they're really listening to each other because she did say that. She said, I want to have a discussion in a year about these kids and like let's start getting the kids, or concentrating on the kids in a year. And he thinks, oh no, she wants to have kids in a year. So I think that they're not really on the same page or saying the exact same thing. Exactly. There's two different things that they're saying, and either one of them is not listening, or one of them is they're not hearing each other. They're not hearing each other. Okay, y'all, this girl is getting on my nerves. She's getting on my last nerves. And his friends said, okay, if he walks in here right now and I ask him, is she a nurse? And he says yes. So what's the problem? So she took one thing that he said, and I rewatched it again today, and she's like, what, this is a non-negotiable for me. Like, she's like, this is such a big deal. It's not that big of a deal, Morgan. It's not that big. So she's like, once I'm done, I'm done. She needs intense therapy. Your team, okay. I'm not Team Morgan on this. I'm not Team Morgan. Michael Co Brown life. I don't understand. Like, in life, especially something like this, you're gonna have to be able to just let certain things go. He's gonna make much bigger mess ups, and you're not perfect either. There are gonna be much worse things this man can do to you than have a misunderstanding. So she thinks, well, if he's misunderstanding, she's like, there were things about my character. There are things about, like, he has no issue with my character, my personality. It's what I did for a living and my parentage. Okay, he misunderstood. You've got to let it go. There's nothing to having to do with your character. It was like one argument, your first argument. This is a marriage. Let it go. I don't understand. There are just going to be worse things in life. Here's why. Ben was judgmental, promised to not bring up certain things. Then he betrayed her in confidence. I hear that. I actually understand that Ben should not have said anything to what's his name, to Tree, right? He shouldn't have said anything. But that's the first mistake. That was one mistake. It's it's your honeymoon. Like, this is 2 weeks in. This is not even 2 weeks in. This was 4 days in. There's going to be worse mistakes. Even if you guys this is one of your first conversations, and I would rather you not say anything to anybody, or let's just have this conversation between us. Let's not talk about it until we get back to back to the apartment. And he talked about it. Okay. But he doesn't know truly who you are. You've only met 4 days ago. Now, I could understand if it was like 6 months here or a year in, and he really knew who you were and he really got to know you. This is different circumstances. If if this was a married at first sight, maybe, but no, I just don't think that this was that detrimental. She's like, this is a huge thing. Once I'm done, I'm done. Why? What then why'd you sign up for this? Why'd you sign up for this? You knew that you would possibly be paired with somebody that you may not get along with. She knew that. So that's it. You knew that this may not be somebody that you may have um that may have a great relationship with their family and you don't. That's okay. I understand not telling someone or betraying someone's confidence. I totally understand that. And the lack of trust thing, I get that too. But this is a first instance. You've got to let it go. Now, if he keeps making those mistakes, and we're about to get into tree and vacation braids, then we can talk. But this was the first time. And also, Ben said, I've apologized. I brought her flowers. I brought her favorite sausage from the supermarket. I've done so much apologizing. I've done everything I can. That's a snowball of a mistake. My second reason is they are trying to force Morgan to get over it and validating her feelings. No, I disagree. Ben realized on that beach, whether she was crying, whether anybody believes the crying or not, he realized, oh, I made a bigger mistake. Not believing her wasn't the mistake. Um, Betraying her trust was the bigger mistake. He realized and he validated her feelings. He validated her feelings then. He has validated her feelings. He's understood it so much so that when the friends came over and the friends are like, well, how's it going? And Ben didn't even want to talk about it because he's like, if I talk about it, then she's like, you brought it up in front of people. Ben understood what a detriment this was because he said to himself, you could see his eyes darting back and forth because he's waiting for confirmation from her that it was okay to speak up about it in front of people. I actually didn't like how Morgan was saying, um, that's not really talking about it because he doesn't know what's okay to talk about now because of the way you reacted. She needs therapy. I wish she had a space to get over it, her time frame. I don't agree with that. Okay. I hear what you're saying, but I think that again, she needs intense therapy. A lot of people are like black and white people, it's all or nothing. There are gray areas, and honestly, in different circumstances. Morgan shouldn't have come on the show if she has trust issues. She should treat others the way she would want to be treated. Exactly. Again, he didn't do something to her cat, or he didn't do anything to like, this was something that he was concerned about. I agree he shouldn't have gone to Tree, but he did. Okay. They had a conversation about don't bring it up, but he brought it up anyway. I agree with you. He shouldn't have brought it up. That's your husband. She needed to, and that's your wife. He shouldn't have said anything. I agree with you on that. But at the same time, in the first 4 days, you don't understand that is that is your wife. So I just think that she should just let this one go. There's going to be bigger battles to fight. It's clear that Morgan wasn't ready to get married at first sight. She lied to Pastor Cal's face when she claimed to have had forgiven Ben. She is holding on tight to this trauma because it feels good. And she wants somebody to just say, woe's me. She wants him, but he has said, I understand. He has said, I'm sorry. He has said, I didn't understand how you would take it. Because he volunteered that I talked to Justin about it. He volunteered the information. So I don't think he truly got, oh, this is bad. And now that she has put it all in there and said, I don't trust the fact because I asked you to keep this silent and you didn't. So at the girls' fire pit, Morgan said they're still hanging and have a friendship. So what are the walls people keep talking about? But that's not a friendship, that's a marriage. Is the road to the cookie? No. No, that's not a friendship. This is a marriage. This is more the companionship. This is, you need to go, they're still hanging. She even said to her best friend when he was driving and they did their video Zoom chat. She said, some of this is me too. I'm in this too. I have my walls back up. I don't trust him. I'm not communicating. Like, she has put her walls up. She told her friend that. So I think that Morgan is really, and so now he's confused as well because she told Pastor Cal, well, he won't touch me. But now Ben's like, you don't trust me. So Ben doesn't know what to do because if I touch her, why would I touch somebody that doesn't trust me? How do I move closer to you when you kind of put these scales, and treated yourself like a porcupine? So he doesn't know how to act now. Yeah. Well, unless she lets him know, okay, it's okay to touch me. It's okay to, because now Ben doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to speak to her friends about what's going on. And even her friends even said, well, since you're so upset about it, why don't you tell us? Because Ben didn't even know what to say. I didn't like that. Yeah, I could tell Ben was like, I don't know what to say because if I say something, if I say the wrong thing, she's going to get mad at me. If she's going to say I talk too much and I betrayed her confidence. Yeah. Affectionate and affection that leads to the cookie, but not all the time. Not all the time. She said, well, he won't touch me. Hold her hand, just get close. Like, remember during Pastor Cal's thing, Ben is at the point where he's patting her on the back, like, okay, good deal, or whatever he said. Okay, I'm down with that. Like, Ben doesn't know how to, because he's treating her like a dude. He doesn't know what to do. Then that doesn't always lead to the cookie. It doesn't. They could look in each other's eyes, they could hold hands, but he doesn't know what to do now. I am so sick of this man. Y'all, this okay. I thought I had gotten a picture of that dog. What I do love is that dog. She said, I'm so happy to have a wife that doesn't snore. And then the dog snores. I love that dog. So I wanted that dog to get on his nerves. I am so annoyed with him. He brought her this little baggie. It was reusable for her trail mix. Trail mix comes in separate baggies. You can get them at the store, but he wants her to do a reusable bag. But then the reusable bag gets dirty and then she's got to rewash it. It's the whole thing. Um, she wanted a charcuterie board, like a French theme. And he said, let's not do any of that. Like, she doesn't even have a choice. She doesn't even have her own voice. And so they did this post-apocalyptic um after the world ends theme and everything. So he wanted to go to the party rentals place, which party rentals are not bad. The party rental place is not a horrible thing, but everything else, like, where's her voice in this? Where's her voice? I didn't even pull a picture of her to this time because she's so done. Because, well, no, she's not done. I'm sorry. She is in it. But this guy in his Star Trek theme, I was so happy that her friend brought her like an iced coffee or whatever. And he's like, oh, they didn't get the memo that we don't do plastic in the future world. I said, you know what? Suck it. I was so done with him. And she's sitting there like combing his wig and they're going, y'all, they're going at it like rabbits. And I'm like, I hope you do every time it's in the shower. I just Just he's y'all. Please tell me what you think of Mitch. I cannot stand him. And I also think Mitch was checking out her friend. I think Mitch was checking her out. I think Mitch was checking out Kristen's best friend. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Mitch was checking out the friend. And this guy, he's awful. He's just awful. Yeah, I agree with you on Stay Tuned. I was going to put that up later, but I will put that up now. We can go back to Ben and her for a second. Why would Ben want to touch someone who doesn't trust him and puts him down at every turn? Exactly. I don't know that she's putting him down, but she's not receptive. She's not adding to the conversation. She's like she's treating them like roommates at this point. So he's like, I'm not gonna touch her. So and then she can't get mad and tell Pastor Cal, well, he's not touching me. But back to these two. This party was nowhere near what she wanted. Um every little thing he's judging her. She got plastic cups for the jello shots. Take those back and get reusable ones. It's just every little thing is going to be a battle with him. And when she told him about the story about them getting about her previous relationship, one, that was her big deep dark secret. I was like, this poor girl. If she thinks that's horrible, I was like, that's not that bad. And he was like, well, that's weird that you all went on took the wedding party or everybody on her RSVP list on the destination without the groom. I said, that's not weird. I think it was like 2 weeks before. Everything was already set. They probably couldn't, the deposits were already, they couldn't get the deposits back. So she needed her friends and family around her at that point. And him saying, I would never do that to you, he's lying. This man is lying. I don't trust him. Um, and just looking at his face, just looking at him staring off into the distance, he did this last episode, and he's doing this episode. Uh, I just think that he's got worse secrets up his sleeve. I just think Mitch has got worse secrets up his sleeve, and um, Kristen is gonna be in for a big letdown. Oh, wait, hold on. I wanted to go to hold on one second. I want to go to her first. I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna save Tree and vacation breaks for last. I didn't even I didn't even put a picture of Miguel up. This girl, why don't you have health insurance? Stay tuned reviews, Coco Brown. Y'all, please tell me why she doesn't have health insurance. So she did she did she's got her doctorate. She quit her job as a physical therapist. She's now, she said that to him a couple episodes ago. If I want to go to Mexico for a weekend or whatever, you're going to have to just let me do that. You're just going to have to let me do it. And you can't get mad at me. I'm worried that you're going to be this person to get upset with me and just challenge me on things. Girl, you need to you need to relax. You need to relax. So she brings up health insurance. Yes, a doctor with no health insurance. I'm like, wait a minute. So one, I don't think she ever wanted to be a physical therapist. I think her parents made her um, finish her degree, become a doctor, and so she settled on physical therapy. Uh, I don't understand. You can, as a part-time physical therapist, you can, I don't know, because sports medicine, the people are still playing sports now. It's not like during the pandemic, like we're out of that. So you can do part time. She can get health insurance. And it may be a little bit more expensive if she's not fully working full time, but still she can do it. And the fact that she doesn't, she went off. And I'm telling you, that cussing and that irate person that she was and the disrespect, that's the real Lindy. That's the real Lindy. This girl went off on him. And we have not seen that side of her yet. That's the real Lindy. This girl told him where to go and how to get there because he wants her to have her last name. Okay, he's a man. He wants you to take his last name, and he's Spanish. He's Puerto Rican. Nothing that doesn't surprise me. So if this is long term, so she's like, "Well, will you put me on your health insurance? I don't have health insurance." And she kind of, I guess it's not called gaslighting how she did it, but it was a manipulation. Lindy's a well, she's a physical therapist, but she's not working as a physical therapist, right? Yeah, because she basically manipulates. So if I go out and get hit by a car, and fine, you don't want to put me on your health insurance, I will just go ahead and get sick then. Like I was like, girl, why are you doing that? Like, oh, that was not good. That was not good. And that's the real her. And honestly, you need to probably put her on your health. You need to get her some type of something. I don't know if she didn't take her stuff. I don't know what's going on. So, but that was very concerning the way she just reacted like that. And I think that's the real her. Honestly, that's the real her. Um, and that was part of that stuff in the bathroom when she couldn't find what she was looking for. That was a little bit of it. And then, this is what she wants. But why didn't she have I'm sorry, why didn't she have health insurance before she got married? You don't know. You could have been married to somebody that wasn't right for you. Like I said about the other girl, you could have got married to somebody that wasn't attracted to you, that it wasn't a good match, that like last season didn't last past the honeymoon because the girl was a nutbag, whatever. I mean, what have you? Why didn't you get health insurance? Yes, yeah. She's treating the last name like she can't switch it back at any time. At any time, like she's like, that's my identity. Identity. That, excuse me. That's the last thing I have. That's me. That's me. But so is your doctorate. All the things you did to get your doctorate as well. I just think that there's something up with this girl. I mean, yeah, that was very um like red flags. There's something else up there. Oh, see? We need mouse control. Hold on. Yeah. Do y'all want to get to it? Yeah, let's get to it. Okay. Poor Nugget in the arms of an angel. Wait, what does Stay Tuned Reviews say? And maybe Lindy is the one not being forthcoming about her job, and she's looking to get his insurance so she can get all the checkups and procedures done in case things don't work out. That's interesting. That's not a bad um option. That's not It's very interesting. Stay tuned reviews. Yeah, because she was like, that's my identity. So I really want y'all to tell me what you think of Justin and Vacation Braids. Alexis. This girl. I'm gonna start with Justin first. Um Justin, I think that this is what happened in his previous relationship. His fiance left him. Again, they were getting everything set for the wedding, and then all of a sudden she don't want to marry him, right? So he does this thing about I was taking care of it, I was taking care of it, I was taking care of it. So they're in the house, and I really had to watch this scene again. They're in the house and they're giving. So Justin's about to give the dog the medicine. She's like, "Well, why are you giving the dog the medicine when you said he hasn't eaten?" And now you're saying the dog is coughing up blood. So here's the thing, y'all. A dog not eating in 24 hours, that's not horrible, but 48 hours, but you need to watch him, right? I'm gonna start with him and then I'm gonna go to her. But you need to watch. Now, a dog coughing or spitting up throwing up and stuff like that, and then a dog throwing up blood. That's not good. And he said, I thought I was taking care of it. I thought I was taking care of it. I don't care, y'all people talking about Justin as conflict avoidant. That's there's more than just conflict avoidance. When you're in the house and you see that the dog is not eating, or you it's a hard to give the dog his medicine. Some medicine you got to give the dog with food. And my dog has actually eaten around the food and left the medicine right there. She's that smart. One time I had to give the dog medicine with a syringe, and she went like this, and that the stuff was everywhere. If he had an issue trying to give this dog the medicine, then he should have talked to her about it. That is still her dog. That dog is still registered to her, and she um, should know about it. And he did not say anything. He has this idea that, oh, if I tell her, then it's not perfect. I need to give her the impression that I'm perfect, that the whole situation is perfect, and that everything is being taken care of. I'm the man, I'm taking care of it. But you're not taking care of it. You're not taking care of it, right? And then you argue with her, and then you say, well, you just want to argue. You always say you want to leave, all of the things, right? So that's one. Now I'm going to go to her. Girl, that's your dog. You didn't realize that that dog hadn't eaten in 2 days. That's your fault, because you got the dog. He's already got his collar on, right? And then so you know he's sick, you know he needs to take his medicine. Why, if you working out of the home and Justin's working in the home, why didn't you make a call? Say, hey Justin, did the dog eat? Has the dog taken his medicine? Are you okay with giving her the medicine, giving him the medicine? You haven't asked those questions. That's your fault, because that is your dog. And if you love that dog like a baby, like you said, oh, that's my baby, that's my baby, that's my baby, then you should have paid attention to that. The fact that you're like, I didn't know the dog hadn't eaten in 2 days, and Justin didn't tell me. Why didn't you know? Why didn't you know that? I think that this is your issue as well as Justin. You're like, I can't trust you. Now I do agree. Justin trying to hide stuff, and she's like, okay, if you're not sharing things that are important to me, then what else are you hiding? I do think that this is a measure. Like you guys were saying, if she doesn't, with Stasha, if she doesn't like dogs, then what kind of parent is she going to be? I do hear that, what's her name, Vacation Braid, she keeps saying, well, what else are you hiding? Because to her, if he can't be a loving, caring person with the dog, then what kind of husband is he going to be? What kind of parent is he going to be? What kind of father? Like she even said, what else are you hiding? And the fact that he was like, I thought I was taking care of it. I thought I was taking care of it. How are you taking care of it? Were you calling the vet? Were you Googling a dog throwing up blood? What were you, how are you taking care of it? And that's all we're seeing is him saying, I thought I was taking care of it. And you just want to argue. And now I do think her saying, well, I'm done. That's just like Lindsay last year would say, I'm done, or last season, I'm done, because Justin doesn't understand. She's just saying, I just don't want to talk to you about this anymore, I'm too upset. He thinks I'm done, I'm leaving. And so Justin is living through fear. Every relationship he's had he's been afraid. I'm afraid she's going to leave me, I'm afraid that she's not going to like me, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that. And it's all fear. It's everything that Justin does is fear based. What did Stay Tuned says? Justin needs to be kept away from being near dogs until he learns how to care for them. Absolutely. Well, and this is the thing. Newton, Nugget, whatever his name is, he is an old dog. He probably would do. And what's funny, I just remembered this. When you saw their little 90s party that wasn't a 90s party because nobody else knew it was a 90s party, they didn't tell their guests. Newton was sitting up under Justin. I should have got a picture of that. That was the funniest thing, that Newton was under Justin and she was across the room, gasping, talking to his friends. And she's like, I'm sorry, babe. I know I shouldn't have said anything to your friends without talking to you about it. She did the same thing when she yelled across the dance floor, he's celibate. Girl, you don't care about this man. You don't care. Wait a minute, what did you just say? Justin didn't do himself any favors by not telling Alexis that her dog was about to die. However, Alexis doesn't respect Justin and she's sabotaging the marriage to get him to fall out of love with her. I don't know that she's sabotaging it intentionally. I When Justin says, "Well, you just like to argue," I don't think she likes to argue. Now, I do well, no, there are some people that like to argue. There are some people that like the chaos, that like to be stressed. In this instance, not Alexis. She will tell you like it is, but that's not what she's doing. She does want to know if her dog is coughing up blood, if her dog is not taking the medicine. That dog could have an infection because of the eye bite. He could be dogs when a change in schedule going from her house to this shared house with a new person with those cameras all around. Dogs that's why he could be not eating because of that. Could be a host of other things, but you have to find out. You have to talk to her about it. That's not your dog. Why aren't you saying something? In this instance, I disagree that she's sabotaging, but I do think Justin was doing that a little out of spite. He's mad that Mia X is in the detention center and her dog is roaming free. He's working from home and he's watching Nugget run around the house free, and his dog is in a detention center for 2 weeks. He's upset about it. Now, he didn't probably intentionally do it out of spite, but it was a little bit of spite up in there. He didn't want to talk about it. He was just like, I'll just take care of it. I'll just take care of it. But he needs to. She's like, stop being vague. Stop being vague. Um, Justin, speak up. Just speak up. He needs to get himself together. Justin needs to get himself together and take care of the dog because Alexis is reminding me of Lindy and the insurance. If it's that important to you, then take care of it yourself. Right. But she should have. That's what I'm saying, future. She should have taken care of that dog, though. She should have known. She should have asked questions. If that's your dog and you love that dog so much, like it was your child, why didn't she call Justin in the middle of the day? Did the dog eat? Why? Because my dog, when I get home, I look at her bowl and I'm like, did you eat today? Okay, you had a little bit this morning. Okay, I know, but she didn't. And that's really, to me, you can't blame Justin for that totally. That is your fault too. That is your fault. You are negligent because you just met this man a week ago and he's now watching your dog and you're not paying attention to it. The dog's already got the collar over his neck. He's got a eye bite. He's got an infection. You don't know what's wrong with the dog and you're not paying attention to it. So I think it's both of the Justin's not saying anything because he's like, I thought I was taking care of it. How are you taking care of it? And then he's like, well, you don't want to listen. You just want to hear yourself talk. But what is she listening to? You're not giving her an answer. Saying that I thought I was taking care of it is not an answer. It's not a good enough answer. Not to me if my dog is coughing up blood. It's not a good enough answer. And you need to do better than that. He does. I think it was a little bit out of spite. Hey, Monique. Hey, Future. Thank y'all. Thank you. What is Donna D saying? Alexis is trying Alexis is just trying to find an excuse to get out of the marriage. Um, I don't think so. I don't think so. I would think that a little bit, but because she even said in the beginning, I would have thought that in the beginning, yes, she's about to run. This girl don't like him. I definitely agree that she should have never, 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 never said anything to this man about how much she loved him and all of that stuff in the bathroom, all of that stuff. I was like, girl, you don't feel all those things. Stop it. But I went on a rant last week about how much she's saying all this stuff, and as soon as that dog got bit, all that stuff was out. I think out the window. I think she cares for him. I think she cares about him, um, but loves him. She doesn't love him. She doesn't love him. So this is going to be very interesting. They're not going to stay together. They're not going to last. Alexis is in it. When she was talking to her sister on the video call, yeah, I think that she does care about him, but I think that trusting your husband is so important, and she's not trusting him. She can't trust him to just talk to her. And he, even when the dog got bit, you guys, and he was holding onto the leash and he was in the bathroom, he was smiling because he was like, oh no, she's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. Because he needs to have this idea, he needs her to believe that everything is fine, and I'm the man and I'm taking care of it. It's more than conflict avoidant. There's something else there. He needs to just, honestly, when somebody wants to just not be honest with you about stuff that you could help with, then it's about the small stuff. Then there's something else. There's more issues there. Alexis was sure to clarify her "I love you" comments. Alexis told Justin what he wanted to hear in order to spare his feelings and prevent herself from being featured on an episode of Honestly, she would be the feature, but he would be the assailant. I'm saying no. Mm-mm. Justin, he just falls in love too quick. And then he does this thing. He wants her to say, "I understand. I love you. It's okay." And it's okay that Nugget got bit. It's okay, but it's not okay if you lie again. So if she lets this go, then the next thing she's gonna have to keep letting stuff go. And he needs to start being honest. She doesn't like to, or not in this instance, she's not purposely wanting to argue with you. And that's it. I don't think it's 5 years. Stay tuned. It's a year and a half. But that's not the I don't but Justin's the one that says that he's packing. He's the one that says that he went back, and I'm not even reading all of y'all stuff because I'm trying to get through this. But I was thinking about, what did Future say? I was thinking about you. This, how did everything go with your? Oh, okay. Oh, what happened to your car, Monique? Did everything go okay? Yeah, Future. He needs to get himself together. Yo, okay. I think Monique, a couple of people know that I got the dog. I keep calling the dog Nugget because I watch Kev on Stage and Mrs. Kev on Stage and Mark the Tanksleys. They did their review, and Marcus kept calling Nugget, or kept calling Newton Nugget. It was the funniest thing. But yes, the dog is named Newton. Um yes, the dog is named Newton. Little Nugget is just little Nugget. And honestly, I don't know how old little Newton is. How old is Newton? Maya, she gonna be just fine. But she in a detention center. We gotta get her out of that detention center. So yes, he is giving me Zach vibes. Yeah, over emotional, dishonest. Like, what's he hiding? Like, why won't he just be honest about the small things? And that's why she's like, what else are you hiding? What else aren't you telling me? If you can't tell me something like this, the dog didn't eat it today. um but she should have called and she should have checked the dog. I'm having an issue giving her medicine, something, because now the dog's not eating and she's taking medicine. No wonder her intestines is all messed up. She don't know what to do. So that's yeah. Yeah, he does look like a nugget. I haven't watched the but Newton looks like he could be a nugget. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and so you saw this last at the end of the episode, I guess they had taken him off of the blue collar is off, but now she's like, "Oh, so you're telling me I like to argue?" He said, I'm not mad at you anymore." She's like, "You being mad at me, but you need to tell me what's going on. Just talk to me." If he would, even when she says over communicate, just even say, but honestly, again, she should be making the calls. She should ask when she gets home, check his bowl. Did he eat? What time did you give him his medicine? So she knows what's going on. And she didn't do that either. But he also, oh, I thought I was taking care of it. I thought I was taking care of it. Stop. Just stop. Okay, y'all, let's get into the foolishness. Let's get into this other foolishness. Oh, right here. Let's go on to Married at First Sight. Ready to Love. Let's get it. Let's get it going. What did you think of this? What did you think of this? Tommy having a tete-a-tete with the three almost eliminated guys. He's never done that before. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I will go back to that. He's trying to get, and I will go back to that a little bit. Stay tuned. Justin also claimed he's trying to get intimate with Alexis, but she turned him down. I'm thinking Alexis knows if she gives him some, he's gonna be searching for her in the daytime with a flashlight. I think that he's right. She was mad. She's like, I'm mad. How am I supposed to be, open to giving my man some when he's not honest with me? She's not trusting that this is good. This is a healthy relationship. Yeah, I agree. It's just gonna be. They're not gonna last. They're not gonna work. Um, so back to this. He's never done that before. He wanted to talk one on one with the guys and talk to them about what each one of them, what the lady said about each one of them. This episode should have been labeled Fast and Furious 11, fake as because Zoe Torrento was trying to run the women over just to win. Yes, with the go-karts. Um, and this one right here with his, I want, I don't want to change my process. I don't want to change my process. Ugh. Thank you, Future. I will go back to Future. Now we got to go to Ray 11. My dog had to have surgery last year, and I literally had a sheet of paper with all of the times that I gave him meds. What if, um, what slash if the dog ate, bathroom, etc. That was if anything is wrong, you can show the vet. Exactly. You have to let them know that. I actually had to take a picture when my dog got sick of um this is disgusting. I will never show you guys, but like if a dog's poop is runny, if because you're supposed to be just like us, like something something's wrong when certain things look like a certain way. And I actually had to take a picture of what his poop looked like and show the vet and say, okay, this I know that this is wrong. I know he's sick. I know or she's sick. I know what's going on. She's throwing up. So we had to put her on a regimen. We had to do certain things. I had to do that. And I had to pay attention to certain things. The fact that Justin didn't pay attention to it, but the fact that I think what's her name is negligent too. What's her name? Vacation Breeze. She's very negligent. So hey, Kimberly reviews. Yes, it's the entire episode. I really want to know what Monique thought about this too. So yeah, he wants everybody to do his process. LJ, I actually, especially this episode, I was like, okay, I like LJ. I don't know that there's anybody on the show for LJ though. I don't know if there's anybody here for LJ. We'll get into that in a second. Okay, Justice. Justice, I really would. If somebody knows, please tell me what zodiac sign Justice is, because this man, the way he manipulated that conversation. And then at the end, he's like, okay, so can I get a hug? See, you want to get a hug? You want to hug it out? You want to, but I want to get a hug. You want me to come to you? I mean, he said, so apparently she's the one that, and I think he did say that in the lounge that she called him at, I thought he said like 1 a.m., but I will give you the phone call 1 a.m. from what we talked about earlier. that could have been anything. They're both, he's an event planner. I don't know what she does, but that, I let that go because it could have been anything, right? But that's, it wasn't Justice's process. And he wants people to play his game. You ain't playing nobody else's game, but Justice's game. And but at the same time, Katie, she's a she's a whole trip, right? And it was a dance to Justice, because I feel like he knows the way she is, and he was like, I don't want to talk to you like that. I didn't want to talk about that. You wanted to talk about somebody else, and I didn't want to talk about them. So I want to talk about you and me. So I mean, the whole conversation. I agree. They're keeping him on for the drama. Um, Stay tuned. I'm gonna get you in a second. So Katie and this going back, she was like, I'm done. I'm done with this conversation, because you knew you weren't trying, you weren't gonna get him to concede. You knew that, and she was like, he's just so difficult. He's so difficult. But and I really liked Trinika before, but Trinika was getting on my nerves a little bit. Now I don't mind her being here at this stage, because to Trinika needed, or sorry, what's her name? Kadian needed Trinika as a go between. She needed, and she even said, I need a buffer because Justin is so difficult, right? But then Trinika's saying, a lot of other people don't understand you. I understand you, but a lot of other people don't understand you. I was like, girl, what do you understand? Tell me, because I don't get it. Katie's actors will get her voted off next episode. Her only connection is Swayze, and Swayze also has Jay and Kayla in his back pocket. I do believe, yeah. I don't. I think that they knew. Production knew he was leaving, though. Production knew he was leaving. Tommy may not have known that he was leaving, but production knew, and production probably told Tommy. I can't believe Tommy wasn't harder on Justice. Justice should have gotten sent home when the three men were in at the bottom first time. Like you said, they want the drama. Yeah, they definitely want the drama from him. They want the drama, but they know that Zoe's type of drama is too much drama. Um, so Kadian, she was like, "Okay, I'm done with this. He's just so difficult." I'm actually surprised. Why are you keeping up this conversation? This conversation, you could tell you are not going to win. He's not going to concede, and I feel like the conversation even went longer than we saw. Like that whole back and forth. Don't you understand? This man likes sparring with you. He liked it. Stop. And she kept going. Justice had Jay and Trinika in his connections. Zoe didn't have anyone in his connections. Yes, but still, Justice didn't have Jay. He had Trinika only. He what's her name? Jamala. Jamala tried, but it wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work. The minute he was like, "Well, I have a different process. I don't date," and then him saying at the end, we'll talk about that in a second. Whew, y'all, I'm gonna give you a minute. Just let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So this is Zoe here before the and I actually mixed it up. This was before the Mario Andretti what do you call it, racetrack. Before they got on the racetrack, he says, God, I'm gonna beat you. He did that to Trinika. And actually, when she first walked in, she did not have her arm brace on, and she put it on. And then this is him after saying, I'm not gonna toast y'all because y'all lost. Like, and I was in another live earlier in the chat, and they said that Alonzo was on one when he walked in, and Trinika kept asking him, are you okay? He was already upset when he first walked in the door to go bumper cars. So, and it kept going and it kept going. And you can tell, like, even Jay right here, the look on her face is like, is he joking or is he serious? I just feel like all the ladies were noticing. And then the ladies toasted, But at the same time, it's bumper cars, y'all. It is not basketball. This is it's not competitive flirting. You're not like doing some competitive flirting, right? And this ain't loving basketball. This is bumper cars, or this is what do you call it? So I will say, and I'll get into what's her name? Sharice too. Yes. Sharice has gotten a couple altercations with not just Zoe, but Mike. And I felt like she got into something when she first got there. But and she did go to the girls and be like, roast him or barbecue him. Yes, she did say it. She didn't whisper. Everybody's like, oh well, she didn't think he heard. No, she know he heard. That was the loudest whisper I ever heard, right? But at the same time, if she wants the ladies to be like, go at him, because they're already, roasting him a little bit, saying a little stuff back and forth, right? But she's like, yeah, get him, ladies, get him. She's trying to fit in. She's trying to give something back to him. Uh, yeah, Sharice is on one. Nobody cares for Sharice, but this man should have never had talked to her like that, ever. He was doing too much. He was yelling at her, and he is bigger and blacker than she is. I'm sorry. Sharice is a trip. We all have our issues with Sharice, but he had walked in on the defense when the date first started. And now I do hear what people are saying. Well, she shouldn't have been like, when he was on the bottom last week. So I want to know what's his strategy, or what's he gonna do about it, or whatever. True. She shouldn't have said it like that. It's very accusatory. I got you. I don't care. Alonzo, you know better. You should know better than to talk to her like that. And then when she walked away and she's not even talking to you anymore, she's talking to Katie, and you yelling across the room 30 feet away, or whatever, 10 feet, 10 feet, 30 feet, whatever that was aggressive. That was not good. You should not have been yelling at her from across the room like that. Everybody in the place heard it. So I don't think that, and he shouldn't have done it. That's it. What are y'all saying? What did Sharice mean by saying she was gonna barbecue Zoe? No, she said let's. She said she was saying barbecue him to the ladies, because they were going. They were talking back and forth about, no, we won, or we won, and y'all didn't win that. Y'all didn't win that. He was already aggressive. You can't be like that. It's go-karts. It's go-karts. This ain't basketball. So he was so aggressive on the track that he didn't even realize. I don't even think he truly realized what he did to Trinika. I don't think when you're that pushing people over and everything, he may not have known that he pushed Trinika off the track. And then he was screaming and yelling, and we won, we won, we won. It's Boy, it's bumper cars. Relax. Like I said, this is not basketball. This is not football. And he should have been a little bit more chivalrous. These are women. He should have been a little bit better. And I'm sorry. He should have been. He should have done better. Even if you say, well, just because they're women, okay. He should have not acted like that. This is not basketball. This is not football. This is not wrestling. Don't. Um, he shouldn't have done that. So he had walked in on 10, and then you have somebody like Sharice who's going to say to him, well, I want to know what's your plan, what's your strategy, because me, I was on the bottom last week. Girl, that doesn't matter. You're not his teacher, you're not his counselor. So what you do, she was politicking. When she realized, when she was on the bottom, she was over there kissing babies at the brunch. Hi, let me meet you, let me talk to you. Hi, how are you doing? Let me talk to you about me, da, 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 at the brunch, after she was on the bottom. If that's not what he wants to do, that's not what he wants to do. You're not his counselor. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He should have never gotten her face like that. That was over aggressive, and he did not care to apologize. Now I think that he should apologize more than Mike should have apologized. That was too much. What is Donna D saying? If it wasn't for the fact that I saw Zoe and a picture of him with his girlfriend, who he apparently had during the season, I thought Charisse deserved a good cussing out. Zoe was he was too aggressive. He was too aggressive. I don't care what picture we saw. Yes, I saw that same picture, but he was on one. He was way too aggressive, and he was yelling at her with the the pool stick in his hand from across the room. He was still on one. And as a matter of fact, they had a female producer and they were saying to her, "Do you want to go in and stop him?" And she said, "No. Shouldn't we send another guy in? Send LJ." And that's why LJ went over to kind of mediate the scene. I'm telling you, he was too aggressive. So, and I honestly think that although Justice should have gone home, that's why they sent Zoe home because I'm sorry, yeah, that's why they were going to send Zoe home, and Zoe knew it, and that's why he stood up, old girl. But he was doing too much. Look at this stance right here, y'all. Look at this. I mean, look at this stance. And she's trying to talk to him. And I agree, Charisse. I don't know what are you trying to do? And the way, and yes, Charisse, what's your strategy or what's your plan? I want to know what he's. Why do you care? You think that you're trying to help him. When I was on the bottom, this is what I did. No. So what? So what? I think I do have a picture of her crying. So we're going to go to the next slide because I don't think that she was. I think that she does do this though, you guys. And we'll talk about it next time about Tree loving, and because Tree said it. No, I'm sorry. Mavs. What's her name? Vacation Braids said to Tree, "You play the victim." And with Charisse, I think that she does say certain things to guys or say certain things to people, and then when that person gets upset, she'll cry or she'll like get defensive and stuff like that. Because even in the ladies' lounge, when Katie and we'll get into that in a second too. So see, look at this. Look at this. Y'all. He's still arguing. He's still look at this. No, he's wrong for that. He is wrong. He's wrong for that. So her crying and everything, I think that uh maybe she does do this. She got upset at Mike and said that Mike scared me, right? And so then Mike apologized. And then she's over here. Now, how he was acting, this would have been a reason to cry. This would have been a fear. I would have been afraid of that. Like that was a lot. But Mike, I don't think that was right. So Cadian, I wouldn't trust Cadian at all. Cadian said, I talked to Mike all week or Alonzo all weekend, and he heard that you said, let's barbecue him. And so that's why he was upset. So if that's what you heard, and then you heard that, and so you go and get aggressive with this girl and get in a stance and yell from across the room, no, no. And also Katie's like, you can't say something to a man and then get upset because a man um called you out on it. No, he still should not be doing this. This man is bigger and blacker than her, and if something were to happen, he's the one that would get arrested. Yeah. I think Zoe came to the bumper car date mad because the ladies had put him on the bottom. He seemed to want to go out with a bang on on his own terms. I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Donna D. I see what you did there. Yes, yes, yes. He was doing a lot from across the room, Monique. Yeah, yep. He was so out of pocket. He was so out of pocket. He was so out of pocket. Um, and then her and Katie, and at the end, she said, and then she said, "I'm not a victim." And then you can't play the victim. What did she say at the end? Well, you can't get in a man's face and then play the victim when he gets angry at you. She's like, "I'm a." What did she say? "I'm not a victim. I'm a." I don't remember what the last thing she ended with. "I'm a boss. I'm a boss. I'm not a victim," or something like that. She said. But I was like, girl, a lot of people are going to say, yes, she got in an altercation with Mike, and now she got into something with Alonzo. At the same time, Alonzo was wrong. I'm sorry, he should not have done that. Yes, she should not have said, well, what's your strategy, or what are you going to do about it, or what's your plan? And he didn't like her saying, well, let's barbecue him. So she was saying, well, let's get him, let's go at him or roast him or whatever. So, oh, that's right, Donna D. She said, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. I don't care. I don't care. So, okay. I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. So she has snappy comebacks. So what? Stop. Stop and think about how you are coming off to people. At the same time, Zoe, if you didn't like her, she was saying, well, what's your strategy? He said, I'm not here to tell you who else. And then she had something like, well, I don't want to talk to you either. I have a lot of other connections. So she's getting defensive right back. Sure, all of that is true. It doesn't matter. Zoe, you wrong for this. That's not okay. That's not okay. And then LJ comes in, and I liked LJ this the scene. I think that do not think I know that the producers asked him to step in, do more stepping in than he was really trying to do. So he did take care of it on that end. I am glad that Zoe left at the situation. He should have left earlier. He should not have been staying around while all that was happening. It wasn't a good situation for him to stay in. And she was like, he should have left. He should leave now. I'm gonna get him to leave. Like, what is she trying to do? Mm. So did we go to right? Okay, good. So now we're at LJ and Trinika's date. What did y'all think of this? I thought this was cute. I think LJ is really trying to put himself out there. He's trying to make sure and get all the dates with all the ladies. He's trying to make sure he's got a date with each lady. Next week, I think we're going to see a date with him and Charisse. Um, but at first I actually liked Trinika with Randall. I just don't know. I don't know that I see Trinika with anybody. Now that I see the conversations that she keeps having with what's his name? Justice. I'm like, what are you doing here? So, but I like LJ though. I like LJ. I don't know what. He can't sing, but at least we know he wants to sing. At least we see him plucking a guitar in one scene. We see him singing off key in another scene. I see more from him. I'm seeing more from him now. So I like him. I don't know anything about her except for she broke her wrist. So I do think she's very pretty and very sweet though. But I don't really know anything about her. You wish he invited her out? You mean Trinika? What you mean LJ and Trinika? Yes, I agree with that. She's also kept on the show because she likes the drama that she brings. She should have gone off the show before. Yes, I actually thought that she was gonna go. Oh, the other way around. You have a point though, Etta. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It should have been the other way around. Um, I do wonder, are the producers even manufacturing these dates anymore? Like how, except for of course the closing dates, the bubble dates and stuff like that. How are they doing that now? I wonder if LJ drove Trinika home. Oh, that's right. He was saying that at the end. I can drive you. She said, "You want to drive me home? You want to take me home? Well, we can. I can take you home." Yes, Zoe did what? Yep, yep. We're gonna get into that in a second. You like? I'm not sure. I thought it was cute. I know they talked about being a bonus mom and everything. I thought that was cute. What did you guys think of this picnic? Basically, I don't know. I'm kind of liking them. I'm not sure. I definitely don't like her with LJ for some reason. I'm not seeing her and LJ together. So I'm like, this might be something. This might be something. So, and I don't know what he does. What does Samson do for? Oh no, he's the life coach. Huh. This might be a good idea because he has not tried to solve her problems. Like uh with Shakira, he's kind of trying to rescue her. He's trying to rescue Charisse. With her, I haven't seen him trying to rescue Looney. So maybe this might be something. He has got a lot more tattoos than I noticed. I'm just noticing all his tattoos right now. So they're cute. Um they talked about, going to the gym. They talked about really fun stuff. I thought that was cute. This couple, I don't have a single picture of them two together. I thought that her, she's a flight attendant. She wants kids. He already has 3 kids. Somebody corrected me in the chat. Thank you. In my chat last week, I thought he had 4 kids, but he has 3. I didn't know that he wanted more kids. So I think that's going to be interesting. I see Samson and Looney making it. I do too for some reason. I see Samson and Looney making it to the finale. She's using LJ to cement her place on the show. I also think Shakira is gonna. Oh yeah, oh I think so too. After that preview, I definitely think uh Shakira is gonna self eliminate. I thought she would self eliminate this last episode, but this last episode wasn't really about her. Only a tiny bit. So I think that she is going to self eliminate. And I do wonder every season in the last, 3 seasons, we have had somebody self eliminate or something's happened. And I just think that's something that's an issue. I really like the picnic. It was cute and seemed like both couples really enjoyed each other. I am not a fan of outdoor dates because I sweat easily in bugs. Just the bugs and ants is what I'd be like. I don't want grass on my food. I'd be like looking to make sure that there's nothing flies on my glass. That's what I would be doing. But I love the picnics. I love picnics. And then you got the water views. I love that. But at the same time, Kimberly, I'm with you though. I would be like, oh my gosh, what is this? And make sure that the flies don't get on my glass. Just, yeah, I would be doing that too. Because I've done that before. I'm like, okay, this is very scenic, but are there ants on that tree? Let's have the blanket over this way. I think that Brandy and Mike are cute, and I think they're physically attracted to each other, but I don't think this is a lasting match. She's like, yeah, I'm a flight attendant, but so, and he's like, yeah. She's like, flight attendants, they fly out maybe on a Thursday and they're back Sunday. So that was just an excuse. I think um, production needed a conversation for them to have. I really don't think that was a good barrier for them. And I would really think that they really need to take a deep dive into the kids conversation because Brandy has not wavered on wanting more kid or wanting kids. So I think that I would like to see more of that. Yeah, I do. I feel like the connection is forced. I just don't see it as a true connection. I think it's a physically, I think the physical chemistry is palpable, but are they really doing anything more than hugging and kissing or they're probably doing more than hugging and kissing. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But are they actually having deep dive conversations into the future? And I just don't see it. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible person, but I had to put this picture up. I had to do it. I had to do it. I'm horrible. So there had to be more that she was talking about besides the Cadian incident. She said that now she mentioned Cadian, yes, but she also said I got wind from a lot of the guys that my past or what has happened to me was shared um, with and the guys and the girls. The things that I shared in this room, the guys. She said more than one guy at the white party. So what happened with her and Katie and Jamala and Mike, that was before the white party. That was the little barbecue before the white party. And then you go to the white party, and then she talked to Randall, she talked to LJ, she talked to Samson, she talked to other people. So now I don't know if Katie spoke on it when she had the yellow dress on and into the night. I don't know. But I definitely think that more happened. And I also think that Tommy's saying, "Oh, what we talk about in here is not to be shared." That's that's happened every season. That I remember with the episode with the pastor with Ron was telling everybody everything. So I just think, what are you talking about? So, but she doesn't know that, or she doesn't. She wanted that to be a safe space, and she said that she already believed that she overshared. Sis, if you believe you overshared, you probably overshared. You overshared, and now she regrets it. Feel your feelings. I'm not saying that a black woman shouldn't cry, because I cry. I cry. I'll probably cry at a sad movie tonight. But at the same time, and if you're going through these things, I don't know what exactly happened, so I'm not going to speculate. But I also think that if what has happened is affecting you this much, you're and she also talked about depression. She also talked about post traumatic stress syndrome. She also talked about certain things that maybe this is just not the place for her to get back into the dating scene, and she needed to take more baby steps. And she just went full force into a scenario like this that's rapid fire. She walks into a room with a lot of guys and a lot of women, and she's thought, oh well, it's one thing for guys to talk about my story, but then for the women, she thought that she was going to be safe with other black women. How do you don't know these women from Adam? You don't know you don't know Katie, and you just met her 2 days ago. Like, why would you think that? So, and I appreciate that she wants to share her story, but this is not the place for her to share her story. So I just think that she needs to, you know, sit back and heal and take time for herself. This is not the place for her to do this. And she was just in tears with Tommy. This was a lot. This was a lot. Mimi said, "Cry me a river." What? They are getting. Wait, stay tuned. You're talking about Brandy and Mike. Now the flower looks okay in the picture up top. Yes, the flower looks really pretty here. Here it's hidden. This is a different wig. Actually, I'm sorry. I think that's the same wig, but she made it into a ponytail. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Um, they're just speaking in code, but Kadian doesn't care and will keep poking next episode. It will get her eliminated from the show. I don't think that that's what's going to get. Well, I was going to say I don't think that that's what's going to get Kadian eliminated from the show, but she only has Swayze as a connection. So I think that's what's going to get Kadian eliminated from the show. I think that next, when it's the ladies' turn, it's going to be between Charisse and Kadian. So, and it's really who brings the less toxic drama. Some things you just need to keep it to yourself. You just need to keep it to yourself. And I'm surprised if you're this raw from whatever happened to you, uh, you don't share it. Even it's very hard for people to trust to open up. So how can I trust, the person next to me to open up? And I'm just surprised that she trusted so quickly, these ladies in this lounge. Granted, she started crying, but she could have just said, "I don't want to talk about it. Thank you for being so sweet." The ladies were like, "Take your time" or whatever. Just don't talk about it. I am I'm really sad for her though. I'm sick, but I'm just like, oh, here she go crying again. It's not the type of sick of like I'm sick of Justin. I'm sick of Tree crying. But her, I'm just like, this poor girl, I don't know what has happened to her, but this is not the right avenue for her, and she should go. She should go off the show. And also whatever you're going through, whether it could be the depression or the post traumatic stress or whatever happened, then you got cameras around you, you got lights around you, you got people in your face asking you questions. It's all even more heightened when you're in a situation, in a scenario like this. And she should not have come on the show. That's what I think. I'm not sick the way I'm sick of Justin. I'm just more like, this poor girl, you have to go home. You have to go. You have to go. You have to go be with your son. um y'all, I'm gonna cover Brandy first. She was so funny. She was like table for one. She was like lunch for one. But this man not showing up, he knew he was about to get eliminated. Well, and the funny thing is, the way this show has turned out, he may not have been the one getting eliminated. It might have been Justin, but he was already so mad. He was already to the point where he knew. I feel like after he got in that car and drove away, he knew he shouldn't have reacted like that. I hope he had the wherewithal to think, just like I said earlier, I'm a black man. What was I doing? I need to calm down. This is not the best scenario for me. I hope that he had um, the strength of consciousness to think, uh, I need to not go. If they want to set me up with a date, they probably had already kicked him off, but they wanted to do it, as a, what do they call, a button on it. It just like make sure that he's the one eliminated or whatever. Um, I also think the fact that not just the Charisse thing, but then he was very aggressive and competitive at the go-karts. Uh, Pushing what's her name, Trinika, and not even realizing, or maybe he did realize it and didn't apologize. The way he treated Trinika in the bumper cars, the whole thing was bad. That after he realized, I think they told him he has to go, but they were gonna, put a button on it and say you're not ready to love, and he was like, I'm not trying to hear that. He did, and I don't think he pulled a Trina. I don't think the Trina wasn't at that point. She was done with the situation because the schedule, everything else was bad. I don't think he was pushed to the wall after he left, but he was punching the wall. That's so funny. Zoe probably was punching the wall after he left. He might have been. He might have been in his car, like he might have been. You know what's interesting? I liked Trinika for Randall, and then I saw all the stuff that she was talking to Justice about, and then they grabbing hands and touching hands like this and everything, and the way Randall talks to her, and I'm just like, Trinika, are you crazy? Like, I feel like Trinika is gullible. I said, when she was sitting down there with Justice and she's listening to everything Justice is saying, and she's saying stuff like, a lot of the women don't understand you. A lot of the women think you're, and I can't remember exactly what she said, which is not what we heard. Unless it was edited out. And I'm like, Trinika, where are you getting this from? And like, I understand you. They don't understand you. I'm like, you're gullible. I don't think that I'm really questioning her for Randall now. Now I had shipped her and Randall. I thought they were cute. I thought it was effortless. I think with Randall and Kayla, Randall is trying too hard to make it work. That him and Kayla, I don't see it. But I was really looking at Randall and Trinika. Now, and also Trinika, get a better bra, get a bra that fits. Go for bra fitting. Um, I just think her talking to Justice, I just didn't. I just questioned her, her common sense. I'm sorry, I did. Then I don't think that she's dumb. I just think that sometimes with guys like Justice, they know how to manipulate. They know how to talk to you, to say certain things. And then he said, what did he say? Okay, the Trinika said, okay, you can take me out next time. And he said, okay, cool. We'll go to one of my spots where we don't have to pay. What? What? Is that okay with you, Trinika? So all of that, I just, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She be drinking random. She be drinking Justice's Kool-Aid, and that concerns me. So, but you stay tuned. I'm not posting that. I think that Trinika likes Randall more, but Justice treats her as his number one. That's the only number. That's Justice only has one number one, is Trinika. I didn't even know they were interested in each other. I didn't know that they were talking. He's Trinika is the phone call that he does pick up. He does answer Trinika's phone calls, but nobody else's. LJ treats Trinika like a queen, but I don't think she's feeling him like that. Absolutely, I don't think that she's feeling LJ. I thought it was a cute date, but there's some women that like guys that are not untouchable, but the guys that are not available. And I got that feeling. I said, does Trinika like guys that are not available, that don't like her, that won't show her the love she needs? And I got that impression. I'm sorry. I was like, I really side eyed her and Justice, and the fact that she was really just drinking that Kool Aid. So, yeah. Thank you. Not one with a proper undergarment. Well, maybe I don't know. It just, and you and me, Kimberly, we're healthy. We're healthy girls. So I'm just like, Trinika, what are you doing? Like, you could. There are ways to take care of that. There are ways to take care of that. So I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. So I mean, you spent all this money on this other stuff, on these dresses, and also, why are they both dressed with the color, like the color of sand? Why are both of these out like they? Who picked these outfits out and said, yes, I have a sand colored turtleneck in Miami? Why was that a good idea? So just and they're both have the color of sand on. I just thought that was the weirdest thing. So yeah, I just I'm very much questioning Trinika's her ability to have a good picker. Is her picker off? So I really want to see her with Randall again. I thought that her and Randall were just like effortless, and she was doing the right amount of flirting. She wasn't going overboard with the flirting. I think Kayla was going overboard with the flirting, but I think that he's physically attracted to Jamala. But I thought I see him and Trinika long term. But now that I see her with Justice, I don't know. Yeah. Who picked these outfits out and said, yes, I cannot stop laughing. They're both the color of sand. Yeah, this isn't even, is this beige? Is this light? This not light brown. This is awful. And why was this? And then you up against this brick wall. This whole scenario is bad. But y'all know I notice things that not everybody notices. So that is it. That is it. That's my last thing. I hope you guys like this review. Please stay tuned for more content. I'm doing Love on Stage tomorrow. We're changing the time. It's going to be tomorrow morning for Love on Stage, just this week. And hey, Chloe, you're coming in at the end. You got to watch the replay. We just went in on Trinika and Justice and her and just everything. I just don't. Now I'm questioning everything that Trinika, and I'm questioning her good sense. I'm questioning her sense because the fact that she's all over him, I just don't see it. Really, I did not. Did you see the video on OWN where Randall isn't sure about Trinika? I gotta watch that, y'all. Huh. I saw the video where he said that he has three connections because he's kissing Jamala, and then he still says that I still am interested in Trinika and Kayla. I saw that, but I think that Trinika has kind of fallen down the pole a little bit. I think that she's kind of not, because she's making her rounds too. She dated LJ, of course, Justice, and didn't she have another date with somebody else as well last week? So she's making her rounds. Yeah. Huh. Yes, last night's episode was a lot. So I'm gonna have to check that out because I want to see the new and see what Randall says, because I really liked Randall and Trinika, but now that I see Trinika and Justice, I'm just questioning her sense and the way her picker is off. I think that she likes guys that don't like her. I think that she likes guys that are not available, and um they kind of treat her any kind of way. So I want to see that. I don't think Randall is sure about anyone. He just playing the game. He seems to be a good catch. He definitely seems to be a good catch. And I was actually thinking that Randall is this season's what's his name? Phil. I was thinking that Randall is this season's Phil. So that's what I was wondering. I saw the video. He claims that Trinika laughed at all his jokes. Wait, Tanika laughing at all his jokes were a turnoff. Randall just wants a woman that presents a challenge to him. He knows he could get Trinika. Oh, that kind of makes me bad. That kind of makes me sad because I think that women that are built like Trinika, men have a certain impression of them. Now, if that's true, and her laughing at his jokes, and she seems too available, but I also think, stay tuned, you have a point. That's why he likes Jamala, because she presents very kind of classy, not yeah, classy, intelligent, but unattainable, like a challenge. So I see what you're saying. I just hope that if he's not interested in Trinika, it's for the right reasons, and if he is interested, he's for the right reasons and not just to get her in bed. And yeah, Kimberly, you know what I mean. Like, they see her and they're like, oh, they just want to get her in bed, and they think that she's, not intelligent. I don't think she's not intelligent, but I do think that sometimes women want a guy that's just not attainable. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We'll hang out again next week. And these couple of episodes of Married at First Sight, first half was boring, and then they got into the tree and vacation braids of it all. At a Barbie, what did they say? OWN showed the video where Randall went out with Jamala and she laughed just as much. I think he likes, but I do think he likes Jamala more. She's a kind of a challenge, and she kind of just she presents just kind of classy to me. But I'm not saying that Trinika isn't classy, but just the way she came off on their date, or when they were right before the white party, I just got the impression, the way they're touching, the way that he was talking softly to her, the whisper. I just think it's a it's a different type of energy that she's given off to him. But I thought that Trinika was giving that same energy on their date when she came, and she sat next to him, sat closer, and I thought it was the right amount of flirting. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We'll see. We're gonna see, y'all, because this right here, and then they're holding hands, they holding each other's hands and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing, Trinika? This man don't even want to pay for a date. He said, we'll go to one of my spots so we can eat free. Really? Thank y'all. Good night.